Namaste, my name is Tim Halloran and this is Esoteric Understanding. I'm creating this video series with the hopes of sparking and inspiring conversation and deeper thinking amongst my peers and whoever might be watching these videos. So the subjects, as I've said before, that I'm going to be talking about, esoteric means held by a small group of people. So I'm going to be giving my opinion, I'm going to be talking about controversial things, and myself, I have very little knowledge and I'm considerably fallen and impure, so you have to take everything that I say with a grain of salt. But I'm hoping that there might be some things here and there that maybe resonate with your heart, and maybe you'll be able to pick some things up and give some things back and share and converse with me. So the subject that I wanted to discuss today is one that is considerably talked about in the spiritual community, and that is the quote-unquote New Age and the quote-unquote shift in consciousness that we are currently going through. And I don't particularly favor the word New Age, especially the word New Ager, which is almost a derogatory word, like the word hippie was used during the 60s. When I hear the word New Ager, I think of someone being just like, "Yo man, I touched this amethyst, it's totally opening my third eye," or something like that, you know? So I'm going to explain why I don't exactly like the term New Age, and I'm going to begin by talking about some ancient mythology that might give us some insight on the subject, and then I'll give my own opinion towards the end. So, what is happening right now? Well, all the ancient cultures definitely had calendars. They definitely kept track of different periods, and they did make different periods, and there was definitely movements from period to period. And the remarkable thing about these ancient cultures is that their calendars pretty much agree. And if you read any of the ancient myths, their myths are pretty much the same. And it's very much understood right now that we are in the Iron Age, as the Greeks put it, or the Kali Yuga, as the ancient Hindus put it. And these ages that we're talking about in this situation are very, very big. So there's layer upon layer of all these different cycles. So I'm going to be talking to you about cycles. And that's the real reason I don't like the word New Age, because if we live in cyclical time, which we should agree that we do, linear time is an invention that came about only about 1,000 years ago, when Christianity took out some fundamental truths such as reincarnation, and gave us the idea that there is a doomsday and a final judgment, and we're just counting down the seconds until that approaches, and then we have an end. That is a fairly recent concept. Before then, it was always cyclical. And that is how nature works. Everything is cyclical. The planets go around the sun goes around the galaxy. Everything is indeed cyclical. Which is why I don't like the New Age idea, the word, I guess. You know, I understand the concept. I'm not disagreeing with the concept. It's a true concept, but the name is a little misleading because it makes it seem like we're doing something different, which is, if you're in cyclical time, it's not different because you keep on going through cycles, right? So the New Age we're entering now is another New Age, and then there's going to be another New Age, and then there's going to be another New Age, and we're always entering New Ages. But what is actually going on right now? Well, in astrology we're entering the age of Aquarius. There's the progression of the ages. We're moving out of the age of Pisces and we're entering the age of Aquarius. So that's one cycle, and that's one period. But the yugas, you know, the big ages, you know, the iron, gold, bronze age, those are larger ages. So we're talking about different levels of cycles right now. And, you know, the Hindu calendar is nice because the cycles get so huge that it really puts things in perspective as far as our universe. Without having to look at ancient myths or philosophy like that, there's a lot of it, I could talk forever about it, but we can just look at the past. The past creates the present creates the future. The actions of the past have repercussions. So by studying history, and history repeats itself, we can see where we're going. So let's just talk about what has happened over the last several thousand years and what will happen because of what has happened over the last several thousand years. What has happened over the last several thousand years has been the loss of the indigenous wisdom of the ancient cultures. You know, the poor fools in this American world, some of them believe that the ancients were stupid and primordial and unintelligent, and that's just plain not true. You can read their philosophy and instantly understand that they have better understanding of nature than we do. So the white man invaded the whole world and destroyed all of the cultures save just a few. And you know, there's this whole Vatican library that has all this stolen wisdom that's hidden away somewhere. We'll see what happens with that. But you know, the point is that most of these indigenous cultures have been wiped off. They've gone extinct. So the Mayans are gone, the Native Americans are pretty much gone, you know, just look anywhere. And, you know, Christianity, the Crusades, what was the Crusades and the Inquisitions? They were wiping all other religion off the face of the planet, and what did they replace it with? They replaced it with our current Christian ideology, which says, time is not cyclical, time is linear, you only got one life, and the big J is going to judge you when you die. You're either going to go to heaven or hell, and that's it. You're out of there. And this is enormously fear-based. You know, if you live your life thinking that you're just awaiting a final judgment, it's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, you either gave enough money to charity and you're going to make it into heaven, or you did and you're going to burn in hell for all eternity concept. There's a lot of fear in that, and it also takes away our power. Because when they took out reincarnation, they took out the extensiveness of the truth of your being. So when I'm talking about how the Christians, quote unquote, wiped out the indigenous cultures, well, they wiped our history out. Because we go back. If you believe in reincarnation, that's us. Whenever you're looking at history, that's us. This is our story. His story is our story. So they wiped out all the indigenous cultures and replaced it. But it just so happens that that's not how life works. And the soul is an eternal thing. You are an eternal being, and as long as you're here in the material world, you keep taking births. So when they wiped out all the indigenous people, they wiped out the priests, the Native Americans, the shamans, the medicine men. Where do you think they went? Well, they're still here, but now they're being born again in the American Western white cultures. We're still here. And guess what? You can't destroy the truth. You can hide the truth. You can do damn well to hide the truth, but you cannot destroy it. So you know what? They can destroy all the temples. They can burn all the Mayan documents as they did. They can hide all the stuff in the Vatican library as they do, but they can't destroy the truth. So all the medicine men, shamans, they're being reborn now in the cities, in the towns, all across the world. They're being born in America, and these people are being born and raised in this culture, and they're just like, this is so messed up. Because they still have their understanding. You can't, no, and I'm gonna talk about our soul evolution. So this is what this is really leading us to, is what is the soul evolution? So I guess we'll just lead right into that. So we've been talking about cyclical time. There's all these different levels of cycles, right? And, you know, there's this idea that we're entering the new age, and so many people are very hung up on this. You know, it's very important. We're entering the new age. Everything's going to be perfect. You know, everything, we're all going to ascend, right? That's what everyone's saying. We're all going to ascend, which is true. We are all ascending. The question is, are we entering a golden age? Are we entering a new age? And my opinion is, it doesn't matter. Because this cyclical thing that we're in keeps on going. This is material nature. Material nature is cyclical. You die, you're born, you go back to the earth creates you again. Yep, matter is not created nor destroyed, it just changes, it changes, it changes. So, It's like the sun, it's like the planets going around the sun. When it's your birthday, that means that your sun is conjunct where your sun was on the day and time of your birth. And then 1 year goes by, it goes all the way around your chart, it goes all the way around the 12 signs of the zodiac, and then it comes back and it hits that sun, happy birthday, and then it goes around again, and then it hits that sun, another birthday. When it's your birthday, does your old skin fall off and you turn into a new person? No, that's not how life works. Yeah, because we are growing. The Buddha's most famous teaching, it is said, he just sat there silently and held up a flower. That's his greatest teaching. Because what is he saying without saying? Look, this is life. It's here. It's growing. It's beautiful. It's like a flower. We are like flowers. We're beautiful and we're growing and we're blossoming. But the cycle does not, we are not the cycle. The cycle is the sun going around. Every birthday is another cycle, but we are spiraling. This is what we are actually doing. So you can calculate time by going in a circle. You can calculate the seasons by going in a circle, but everything is still growing. We are evolving. Every summer is not exactly the same. Look at the summer 1,000 years ago. It was a different summer. The world looked differently during a summer 1,000 years ago. So what am I saying? Well, first of all, this happens on every level. So, even our solar system, we have this idea of the solar system and the planets are going around the sun in a circle, but actually the sun is spiraling around the center of the galaxy. And this is what happened in 2012, is everyone was so psyched about 2012 because our galaxy aligned with the galactic central sun. But what's actually happening is as the planets are circling around the sun is moving, so they are spiraling. The whole thing is moving. The universe, our solar system, is not in the same place that it used to be. And that's how it is with us too. So it does not matter if we are entering a golden age. It does not matter if we are entering a new age, because we're going to enter it again. Because it's going to go around again and we're going to come back to it. And it's not about this point in time being the point in time that matters. That's missing the point. The point is that every point in time matters because it is an interconnected cycle, and as we move around we are learning and we are growing. The sun going through the seasons makes us grow. It creates time. We are evolving. So as we enter this new age, not everyone is going to ascend the way you might, because we're all different plants per se. We're all different flowers. We all have different flavors and personalities. So every plant grows differently. During the summertime, some plants bloom, some plants don't, and it has nothing to do with the particular time. So we are entering, there is a shift going on right now. Things are changing majorly. We're coming out of an age where the truth was temporarily forgotten. But this is how it works. This is what happens. We remember truth, we forget truth. We remember truth, we forget truth. We remember truth, we forget truth. And as we continue to move through this cycle, we evolve. And we begin to understand what the whole game is about. Which is that the remembering and the forgetting of truth is in the service of beauty. And if you want to know that you know truth, you've got to forget it. So it's not so much as, oh, it was such a horrible time and now we're in such a good time. That's true on one level, but on the soul level, this new age is not special. It's not special. If you want to be really ascending, you should be moving towards the idea, the understanding that the movement through time and the shifting of the ages is routine. It's not special. And this is not what we should be focusing on. We shouldn't be focusing on the material world. So we are in the material world. Our bodies move through the material world. We're born, we die. We're born, we die. But should we be focusing on that cycle of birth and death and, transformation? No. No, we should be focusing on the eternal, our soul, God, our soul's relation to the super soul. These things do not go through cycles. These things stay here permanently. And the entire point and purpose of these circles is to awaken us to the fact that these things are uninfluenced by the cycles. Your soul survived the dark age, your soul's going to go into the bright age, and then it's going to go back into the dark age. If you want to establish your relationship to that which is eternal, you can do it in any age. You can do it in any planet. You can do it on any plane, because the soul is there eternally on every plane, on every planet, in every time. So it doesn't matter what age we're moving into, because what is more important is that which is here right now and that which is eternally real. So I'd like to know if any of this makes sense to you. I would like to know your feedback. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense. Please shoot me your questions. Please shoot me whatever rubs you the wrong way, and we can continue to talk more. So you can contact me at the link below and get in touch with me, whether for an astrology chart or to continue talking about these subjects, or any ideas that you might want to bring to light in what direction I can take these videos. So I hope to be hearing from you soon. My name is Tim Halloran, wishing you the best. Namaste.